Hey guys, welcome to Dev Take Finance. And in this video, I would like to talk about personal finance. So, we all want to be rich, but when it comes to inculcate the habits of being financially smart, we are not able to do that. So, why does that happens? Because basically, we are not able to manage our own money. And managing our money in today's lifestyle has become so difficult that every time we step out of our house, we end up losing a lots of money consciously or unconsciously. So let's start and see how by following some simple basic steps, you would be able to generate wealth for you and not lose much of your money so that you could be financially smart in present and in future you could be financially free. So what does you mean by financial freedom? Financial freedom would be when you would be able to take any decision without thinking of the money consequences. So you are in the position to generate so much of income and you are having so much of investments and assets built up that you don't have to think much of the money consequences before taking any particular decision. So that would give some kind of financial freedom to your life. So to achieve that, let's start and develop some basic habits in ourselves. So starting with the basic difference between investment and saving. So here I would recommend you to save money to make investments. Now you have to understand both these aspects. From generations it has been developed as a habit of making savings, but still we are lacking in making investments. So why saving is not enough? Because saving should be done to meet the investment goals. It in itself will not let you earn something. It is like keeping your money still. Okay, so when you are saving, you are having your money, but that money is not earning something for you because money without flow doesn't grows. That's simple concept. So with basic savings, you want to be able to meet the inflation rate with which your economy is growing. The inflation rate. So for talking about present time in India, the inflation rate is about 5 to 6% in between. So when we are talking about inflation rate, with the growing inflation rate, our purchasing power is going down. So just think of it. If your money is having same value today in future as well, you want to be able to beat up the inflation rate. You want to be able to increase your purchasing power, and this is why saving in itself is not efficient. And just saving money and not putting it to use is also like you are losing a lot of opportunities. So your money can earn for you. You have to understand that when you are just not putting your money in any kind of investment, you are losing a lot of opportunities from the terms of your money to be put into use to earn some rewards and returns for you, which could help you grow, be wealthy in future, so that you can be financially free and you can take the decisions without worrying about the money consequences. And this is why saving in itself is not justifiable. You need to save, but you need to save to make investments. And how investment is going to help you? It would create wealth for you. Investment is a source of wealth creation for a longer period of time if you are in habit of investing and if you have started early in talking about in your 20s or 30s only. You have started investing as early as possible. There is no specific age. If you are able to save some money out, invest it out. It's so easy. So if you have been in habit of investing, you are generating a source of wealth for you. So in future, even when you want to be paying something, your money would be earning for you. And this is how investment works. So putting your money to earn returns and rewards for you. And why does investment become so important? Because investments let the power of compounding work in favor of you and not against you. So the power of compounding. You are investing your money and then you are getting interest over it, and again you are earning interest on interest, and your money is growing day by day. So this is how compounding, the power of compounding is work. working in favor of you. So you don't even realize, and by investing smaller amounts or whatever you are capable of saving, you are just investing over a period of time, and it has been growing speedily in its value because of the power of compounding. The power of compounding works in the same way. When you have taken any loan and you are paying out the debt, you are paying the interest, and every time you end up paying the interest on interest, and this is how the power of compounding works against you, and it creates a kind of debt on you, and you think that why you ended up paying almost double or triple the amount how much you have taken as the loan, and you just don't realize that it was the power of compounding that was working in the favor of banks and not in favor of you because you were burdened. So this is how investments works in favor of you with the same concept of power of compounding. So you know how it becomes so important to put your money into use, to put your money into economic flow, to make it earn something for you. And then let us talk about financial instruments, because financial instruments are the way where you could make your investment to let your money earn for you. So it could be stocks, it could be mutual funds, it could be bonds, any of the financial instrument which you feel like is giving you a good return, and for a specific period of time you are able to invest into that in some particular amount, so it would be a better option. And when we talk about personal finance, it's very important that you be financially aware, financially acknowledged. That would be important, because you say, I don't know much about these things, these financial instruments, how would I be able to invest into that? So it's very important that today it's the information is not something you can't grasp. Go through the books, go through the internet, and try to see YouTube videos and many much things to inquire all about how you could invest in these instruments and how to start with it, take some advices, and thus you would be knowledgeable enough to invest in these financial instruments. It's very easy, very reliable, and just by following, letting yourself be financially more aware, you would be in position to take your financial decisions. So it's not like when you are not a student of finance, you won't be able to get the grasp of all the things. It's very easy being a if you have intent to invest your money, if you have intent to be financially smart, you need to know about all these things. So it's very easy. Just go and figure it out where you could invest on the basis of your requirements, what money amount you're having, for what time you want to invest. You would get all the information. So it's easily available. And thus, investment would let your money work for you. So from this slide, we get the overview that we don't just have to save, we have to save to make investments, so that our investment helps us work in the power of compounding and create a wealth for us in future and earn some kinds of returns, not just keeping our money stagnant. So this is something very basic, but you don't even realize how important it is unless you start. Now let's move forward and have a look at need and want. So how does this matters? This matters a lot when we talk about today's lifestyle. Every time you, as I said in starting as well, every time you step out of your house, you thought of buying some groceries, but what happens? You end up buying some clothes, some other items which was not required, but because you saw that and you were influenced, you end up purchasing all those things, and you were not able to manage your balance, your budget which you made for this month. So this is what happens. You need to distinguish between what you need and what you want. So try to purchase things when you need and not just if you want. So if you get out of the house and you saw that, oh, I like this and this is very nice. So you are not thinking about the cost. You are just paying it up and you bought it up, and then you are thinking, oh, it wasn't required. Now I don't need that. So that is something you need to keep in mind. These small silly mistakes make you end up losing your money a lot. So you, without even realizing, you are ending up losing your money in things you didn't really require, you didn't really needed. So that money which you could have put to generate some source of income for you, you ended up losing that money. And why was that happening? It was just insanely happened because you are in habit of doing shoppings, getting influenced by the new products in the market. So try to be disciplined when it's come to shopping, when it comes to purchasing something. Just figure out what are your needs and what are your wants, and that would help you a lot in making your decisions. Before buying, just take a step back and think whether you really need it at this moment of time or not. So, how this would help you? This would help you cut down a lot on your expenses. So you, without even realizing, make so many expenses, and then you think that my income has grown, but my expenses are also growing and much rapidly than my income. So why is that happening? That is happening because of your changing lifestyle scenario. You are ending up losing a lot of money in getting influenced by the market and ending up purchasing all those products which were not even required, just to try experiment it out, and then you don't even use that after certain months. So what so this is how you are ending up losing your money. And what happens that you would have less regrets and more money into your pocket when you would be able to distinguish between what you need to purchase and what you don't need to purchase. So online shopping has become such a trend. So many a times we are in habit of just going out on the online sites and looking at the products, and we just forgot that what we were here to purchase for, and we end up purchasing more than what we required. So this is how everything, the market influences us to put our money into their pocket even when we don't need that product. So this is what you have to understand, because it's very simple but very useful when you want to cut down to your expenses, add to your savings so that you could invest and make your money earn for you and create some kind of wealth in future, so that you could be wealthy rich in coming period of time. And see why this affects you a lot, because of the ads, the social media, which is influencing your buying decision. So what decisions you are taking is to show off that you are wealthy enough. Even if you are not earning so much, you end up buying those products, those branded products, which would let you make that wealthy image, and you end up losing your money. So you have to first create wealth of you, so that your decisions doesn't affect your money. You don't have to think about it. But now, just to get just getting influenced by social medias and various ads, your urge to buy something, your desire to buy something is increasing, even if you are not required to buy that. And to meet out the standards of the people, you end up buying branded shoes, branded clothes, which are costing you so much. Even if you can't afford, you just buy that, you make purchases, and you are messing up with your monthly budget, and you are not able to manage your family well. So this is what happens when you don't distinguish well between your need and want when it comes to purchasing. So try avoiding these things. And you get habitual of shopping things even if that is not required. You ultimately end up losing on your savings and keep adding up your expenses. So it becomes very important whenever you want to make purchases, just make sure that you need that item and you would be fully utilizing it, and not just ending up wasting money just getting influenced by the market, the ads, the social media, just to show you off and to show that you are wealthy enough. You are trying to meet the standards out. Try to understand that you are not here to prove something to any of one of them. You have to think about yourselves, how you could grow your wealth, how you could be wealthy in future, how you could be financially free. So you have to take decisions of yourself and not let anyone influence your decisions. So it's very important. And now let us understand about income and expense. Seems to be a very basic concept again, but it becomes so important when it comes to your personal finance, managing your finance. So income kinds of creates a cash inflows for you. It's bringing out money for you, and expenses creates a cash outflow for you. So it's taking your money out. So You would then argue that the expenses are required, it's unavoidable, but what about minimizing it? See what happens in any business organization. They try their best to control the costs, to control the expenses, just to maximize their profit. So why not when it comes to personal finance? Why not when it comes to you as a person? You try to minimize your expenses in the best possible way so that you can generate much you could generate more income. You would be ending up saving more money for yourself, which you could utilize in other things which you want to do, which is creating a kind of which would create something useful for you. So, how does income help you? It serves as a source of wealth. And don't forget that you can't rely on a single source of income. It has been a necessity of today's life. Relying on just your job is enough for getting your pockets filled. That's not enough. You have to rely on multiple sources of income, because even if you lose your job, tomorrow you don't have to think about, because you are able to generate income from other streams as well. So try to create multiple sources of income, and once you would be getting into habit of increasing your income, you would be thinking about how to increase your income, how to create more income sources, and not just relying on your job. So you are doing youtubing, you are doing freelancing, any kind of side hustle or business model which you thought. So anything which is earning, which is serving as an income from you, other than just depending on a single source, you are trying to be financially independent. So any bad consequence, if it happens with a single source of income, you are having other options to rely upon and not compromise with your necessities, with your needs, with your kind of lifestyle in future as well. So for your family, for yourself, if you want a financially secure position, try to build up multiple sources of income. And believe me, it's not difficult when you would be trying to figure it out how you could increase your income, because income serves as a source of wealth generation for you. That's important for you. And if you want to be rich, you need to be not just dependent on a single source, you need to create multiple sources of income. You would be motivated to do that, and that would become easy for you. You would get habitual of that. And managing your expenses, as I said, many business organizations also, they look out on cutting their cost so that they could maximize their profit. So you could also cut down on your expenses. Try to adopt that minimalist approach where you are using just basic needs so that you could cut out on your expenses and still live a nice life. And once you become financially free, once you think you are wealthy enough and you are having so much of ways to generate income for you, you can plan out your vacations, you can change your lifestyle, and you can take all major financial decisions without thinking of the money repercussions, without thinking of the money consequences. And and you would be secured enough inside your heart also that your family is safe, your family is financially safe because of you, and that would give you a good feeling, a feeling of being motivated to earn more. And this is how the whole things work. It makes you a better person when you are having a motive in your life, when you think that you are financially secured enough to serve your family as well, and you are being able to cut down on your expenses to generate multiple sources of income, and you are financially strong in position to do whatever you feel like. But in starting, you need to adopt all these things, and it needs a lot of hard work required. Once you would be getting habitual of it, it would be suddenly showing you the results after some years. You would get surprised at the results, that how you are being able to manage so much of wealth and you are feeling wealthy at a period of time when you don't have to think about oh, I'm financially burdened or I'm in so much of debt. Rather, you would be enjoying yourself and looking at how you have achieved that financial freedom. So expenses makes you financially weak if you keep on increasing that. So if this happens, when your income sources are being increased, you are changing your lifestyle so in in such a speedily manner that your expenses are also increasing in double than your income increased. And this is how you keep on feeling financially weak and burdened, and you never get onto the position of being a wealthy person. And these all things affects you. So knowing these basic concepts and inculcating that as a habit, keeping it inside your brain and getting motivated to work for it would show a lot of change towards your personal finance, towards getting financially smart. And this is very important, creating assets and reducing the liabilities. So what do you mean by assets? Assets are anything that earns for you. It creates a regular source of income. And what happens, the main point about assets is that the value increases with time, whereas liabilities are just opposite. Liabilities will create a kind of debt on you. It creates a regular source of your expenses, and the value decreases with time. So just by this basic definition, can you just tell what is more useful for you? Obviously the asset, because it is earning for you, it is creating a regular source of income, the value is increasing with time, and liabilities is nothing but taking all the money out of your pocket on a constant basis, and even the value is decreasing with time. So try to build more of the assets so that you could create a regular source of money to your pocket. So it could be again the financial instruments like stock, bond, real estate, any business. So all those things are creating a kind of asset for you, because you would be able to generate money out of it at regular interval of time. And what could be liability? So, for example, on loan, if you have purchased any house or any car for personal use and you are ending up paying the interest rate on that. So, what you are doing, a regular source of expenses is going in form of interest, and the value of that house, that car would be decreasing along with the time if you are not putting that into use. So how you could convert that liability into asset? You can convert that easily by renting your house, because you would be generating a source of income for you. You would be getting regular rents which would serve as a regular source of income, or renting your car, so that would also serve as a regular source of income. So buy these things, but try to convert it into asset rather than converting it into liability. And this intake has been taken from the Robert Kiyosaki's book of Rich Dad and Poor Dad. There he has explained very well how you could create assets, how you could avoid liabilities, and how you would turn liabilities into assets. So I recommend you all to go to read that book to understand better to understand it in a better way, the difference between assets and liabilities, and how it works for you, how it works against you. So trying to build more of the assets and trying to be burden free, trying to be debt free. So the key intakes from this video which we discussed about is that getting into habits of investment for wealth creation, being able to distinguish between need and want when to avoid unnecessary purchases, creating multiple streams of income, controlling expenses through budgeting and reviewing. Yeah, so this is a way which I forgot to talk about. You could control expenses by creating budgets, monthly budgets, and you could review how much you decided to allocate to all these items and how much you ended up paying for it. So thus you would be having a whole data in front of you, and you would be able to analyze and control how you could put a control over your expenses, and where you have spent much of the amount, and where you could cut the cost, all these things. So try to prepare budget and review it and see how you could help out cutting your expenses. And then building more assets and reducing liabilities. So these are the key intakes from this video which you could just utilize in every day of your life to build up your personal finance, be financially smart, and end up being financially free in future. So thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this video. Do like and share my videos, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel Dave Take Finance. Thank you all.